Good morning, YouTube. How you doing? It is early and I have a packed show. It's the most shows I've ever highlighted in a single episode. So let's just get right to it. Okay, today is Thursday, February 21st. I'm JB and welcome to another edition of What's On Today with Discovery Bay. First up is a quick recap of a couple of yesterday's highlights. There are links to these channels in the description below. Okay, first up we have Joaquin over at Comicbook Gallery again. He released a video titled Episode 70, a comic book content creator review. Dude, I really dig this. Joaquin created a new series called basically The Other Guys. And in this series, he highlights 2 to 3 fellow YouTubers who have sub counts of 500 or less. Great idea. All right, next item on the recap comes from Dave over at Mr. Miracle Comics. He released a great video titled 5 Undervalued Bronze Age Comicbooks, February 20th. And he is spot on his opinion. He is spot on, in my opinion, on his list. Okay, let's hit the lineup. Now, all of these times are going to be listed in both Pacific Standard Time and Eastern Standard Time, and there are links and timestamps in the description below. And I think everything's working because nobody's reporting any different. So, here we go. At 1 a.m. Pacific, 4 a.m. Eastern, Billy at Economics and Comics gives us a video titled WWE Fighting With My Family Movie Review. You know how his movie reviews work. So cool. Nice panel, nice setup. He's got the other people, I can't remember what their names are right now, but they're over there talking. I'll edit all this out, hopefully. Maybe I won't, who knows. And that's it. Then at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Eastern, Billy's going to be giving us a video titled Huge Announcement, and you're not going to want to miss that, so we'll tune in. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. Okay, next up at 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern, head over to Perry Comics for a new video titled 2019 Syfy Bartow Street Festival. Perry heads out on a little road trip to explore a hidden gem comic book street festival in Central Florida. Kind of cool. All right. Next up at 4 a.m. Pacific, 7 a.m. Eastern, head over to Joe Ryan Comics channel for a cool, quick 5-minute, 24-second video titled New York Toy Fair 2019 Montage. And it was kind of cool. All right. At 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, over at the Metarog channel, we get the weekly comic contest roundup. And if you want to know what's going on in the YouTube comic community world, then you need to watch this show. Also, we should get a very special announcement, so we want to tune in and find out what that is. Okay, next up at 10 p.m., 1 p.m. Eastern on the Stacey Gillett channel, we should be seeing the next video in his weekly series titled Stacey's Weekly Comic Book Picks. Okay. At 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern at Beyond the Blast Doors, we should be getting the next installment in their series titled Beyond the Panel, episode 7, I believe. You won't want to miss this one. Next up at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, Brian from Simpleman Comics brings us his weekly picks for February 27th, and you won't want to miss that. At 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern,
whosoever watches this channel, if he or she be worthy, shall acquire the knowledge from the Comic Chief.
That's right, another day and another video from the Comic Chief. This time we get a review of X-Men number 4. At 3:30 p.m. Pacific, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, head over to Reggie Simmons' IFBB Pro channel. Are you newly into comic books or thinking about getting into comics? Maybe you have a friend that wants to get into comics. If any of this sounds familiar, you may want to watch this video where Reggie outlines the things that new collectors might want to think about. All right. Now, 5 o'clock, big hour. First up at 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern, we have a video from Simon Comics, who brings us another edition of Throwback Thursdays. In this series, Simon showcases mostly Gold, Silver, and Bronze Age books. Okay. Next up at 5 p.m., we get a video from the Comic Spectre, titled New Comic Book Day 227. Israel gives us his picks for next Wednesday's New Comic Book Day. Next up at 5 p.m., we have a live stream coming from Comic Books NYC. Join him in the chat during his show titled Yo! Comics and No Agenda Live. Alright, episode 4. The fourth and final show, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, is from Chad over at 90MF Comics. Today we get another live show titled 90 Miles from Comics with Chris from Mad Cave Studios as his guest. Hop over to the chat and say hello. At 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Eastern, over at JLS Comics, we should be getting the next installment in their weekly live stream titled Comiconversation. Hop in the chat, give them a like, and introduce yourself. At 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, over at All About Comics, we have another live show. This one's titled Comics and Cold Ones, episode 37. Join JP, Pope, and the gang as they discuss the latest and greatest in comic news. Also at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, over at Thanatos Comics, we have another live show. This one is titled TJ SLABDRAGON Watson's Epic Grail Unboxing. Join Matt, Alec of White Whale Comics, and TJ the SLABDRAGON Watson for what is bound to be a jaw-dropping event. Okay, the final item on the lineup for today, and the last live show I saw scheduled, is over at Tony Sanders' channel and starts at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Tony gives us the next installment in a terrific series titled What's Your Grail? In tonight's show, he has a special guest, Billy from Economics and Comics. Come join them in the chat. You know it's going to be a blast. Well, that's it for today's show. If I've made any mistakes, and I'm sure I did, please let me know in the comments and I'll pin your comment to the top. Also, if you enjoyed the content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out any of my content, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram. This list will be posted on Instagram at around 3 o'clock with any changes or anything that I've missed. I think that's it. I tried to bang this one out in less than 10 minutes. Let's see how I did. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. If you want to be on the show, hit me up on Instagram. What else? Real quick. Oh, get your Green Lantern ready for next week because we're doing this over with Matt and Matt of The Boy Who Had 7. So make sure you get your Green Lantern. This is Secret Origins by Jeff Johns is what we're starting with. Also, if you haven't gotten one of these, you got to get one of these. This is so cool. All right, that's it. And don't forget, we had a good time.